Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tool review is going to be a first time product from this company for me, and this is one that's been recommended by several of you over the course of many different videos, especially anytime I've talked about my Knipex Twin Grips, part number on those 8201200. I have a review for these, and these are some screw extraction slip joint pliers. I mean, they're phenomenal, and I really never knew how much I needed screw extraction pliers until I've had these, and then now they've just come in handy so many times where I would have probably tried to figure out some other way, and this just makes it so much easier. But there's been several times where this is too big. Either the head's too big or whatever it might be for me to get into somewhere. So I've been looking for something that's a little bit smaller. I wish Knipex would come out with a small version of these. But many of you have suggested band pliers to me. And then on top of that, many of you have said you should look into Engineer because they're really made by the same people. And Engineers are a little bit cheaper. And that's what I went with here. I went with the PZ-60. You can see there it's also on this package here. Got this off Amazon for, I think it was $21, $22, something like that. And it's basically a small pair of needle nose or long nose pliers with that same tip on the end that allows you to do some screw extraction. But now this is a smaller set of pliers. It's nowhere near as big, so you're not going to be able to extract as big of screws as what you can with this. But there's been a lot of times where whether it's working on a faucet or something like that where I got to get in somewhere and try to get some screw out, that I think these are going to come in handy. But there's several other features on these besides the screw extraction. They're 7¼ inches long. The tip here is close to 3/16 of an inch, and again, you've only got really 2 grooves there to catch onto some screws that way. But the teeth here also interlock with one another. You can see how they completely close. So one tooth goes in the hole of another tooth, whereas most pliers, the teeth hit each other and it gives you those little holes there. These interlock the whole entire way, as you can see right there. So that might help in gripping some stuff even, from this direction. Also has a wire cutter here. It's okay. It's not the best in the world. It does take quite a bit of force, but that's some 12-2 Romex right there. Cut through the whole entire thing. It did take quite a bit of force, but you get into just one single wire. It doesn't do bad with that. So you get a cutter, you get those interlocking teeth, but then again, you also get that small screw extraction, and again, I think it's going to come in handy for me. The whole reason why I was wanting to get this. But I'm going to show you an example of a situation that you might run into. And again, it won't be this situation, but something like it. I mean, you have to use your imagination, whether you're trying to get into a faucet, whether you're trying to get in between 2 pieces of metal, 2 pieces of wood, whatever it is, there's going to be times where a small pair of pliers like this is going to be helpful over your twin grips just because of the size of the head. In comparison, you're not going to be able to fit those in every place that you can. So I have 2 of these little white screws, one here, one over here. These are screws that I use in drop ceiling grid, but it's just a small head screw. That's why I'm using that, because again, with these Engineers, you don't have the same size head, so you're only going to be able to grip onto smaller type screws. But again, what I'm going to use these for is getting into tight spaces. So typically, if the space is small, the screw head's going to be small. But if I come over here and it's wide open, I can take my twin grips on that size screw, grab a hold of it, and twist it right out if I want to. Just doing it like that. I can also bring the Engineer pliers over here, do the same exact thing, grab a hold on it with that tip, and you can see that I'm spinning that screw in and out. So wouldn't have a problem extracting that in that situation. With either pair of pliers, it wouldn't matter. But then you get into this situation. Well, I can't get the twin grips in this way because the head's too big. I can get in this way, but I can't turn because I'm going to hit something. And then sometimes the screw head is just too small, because you can see here, that's the smallest that this opening gets on the twin grip. So there could be a screw head that is absolutely too small for this. I haven't really ran into that yet. But whenever you get into the Engineer PZ-60s, again, you've got a smaller space for a smaller screw, but I can also go in at it this way and grab it, and then I can spin in a complete 360 degrees, and I can grab a hold of that screw, and I can get in there and twist that out. Just like a screwdriver, get that screw out if the head is damaged. And again, sometimes is it going to work? Yes. Sometimes is it not? Just depends on how tight that screw is, if it's rusted in real bad, all those kinds of things. But then again, it doesn't matter if you've got a twin grip or this or whatever in those situations. Sometimes you're not going to be able to extract a screw with any plier. It wouldn't matter. But basically, I bought these for situations just like this. And again, this could be a faucet in the wall, some kind of electrical box in the wall, some kind of thing in between two pieces of wood, just like what you have right now. But it's just a smaller head screw in a tight spot. That's the kind of pliers that I was looking for. So yeah, guys, that's the Engineer PZ-60s, $22 on Amazon. I think they're going to be well worth it for the times that it's going to run into it. This is a tool that I might not keep on me all the time in my tool bag like the twin grips, because those will work in most situations probably. But this would be definitely something that I keep in my truck so that if I run into a situation, I'm going to be able to get into those. But let me know in the comments below if there's some other version of a smaller, more compact pair of pliers than the twin grip that you think would be more beneficial than the needle nose type. I saw several different pairs. It's hard to decide which one. I had several recommendations from you guys, but I just decided to go with the needle nose route just because I felt like it was going to fit in the smallest spaces. But that's why I went with this. But maybe there's something else that's better. You guys let us know in the comments below. I hope what I showed you today was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.